In the village of Elderswood, nestled among rolling hills, lived a young woman named Elara. Elara had a gift. She tended a garden unlike any other. Her garden was a symphony of colors, a haven for butterflies and hummingbirds. It was as if magic bloomed from her fingertips, breathing life into every petal and leaf. The villagers would often stroll by, their faces etched with wonder. Elara's garden was the heart of Elderswood. Elara poured her heart and soul into her garden. Each morning she greeted the rising sun with open arms. She whispered secrets to the roses, coaxing them to unfurl their velvety petals. Her laughter danced on the breeze as she watered the forget-me-nots, their delicate blue hues mirroring the sky above. Elara's garden was her sanctuary, a testament to her love for the natural world. Every evening, as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across Elderswood, Elara would retreat to her garden. She'd settle down amidst the fragrant jasmine and whisper her deepest desire to the heavens. "Please," she'd murmur, her voice as soft as the petals of a moonflower, "send me someone who sees the world as I do, someone who sees the magic in every sunrise and the beauty in every falling leaf." Years turned into a gentle rhythm of seasons. The villagers marveled at Elara's dedication, her unwavering spirit. Yet, despite the beauty she cultivated, a part of Elara yearned for something more. She longed for someone to share her sanctuary with, someone who understood the language of her flowers. Elara's garden was more than just flowers and foliage. It was a reflection of her dreams, her hopes, her longing for a love that bloomed as brightly as the sunflowers that graced her fence line. Every carefully placed stone, every winding path, whispered of her yearning for a kindred spirit. One cool spring evening, as the last rays of sunlight painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, Elara felt a presence at the edge of her garden. She turned and saw a young man with kind eyes and a gentle smile. He held a worn, leather-bound sketchbook in his hands, his gaze captivated by the symphony of colors before him. "Good evening," Elara greeted, her voice a melody that blended with the rustling leaves. "May I help you?" The young man looked up, startled, as if awakened from a dream. "Forgive me," he stammered, his cheeks flushed with color. "I was so captivated by the beauty of your garden. I didn't mean to intrude." "You are most welcome," Elara assured him, her heart skipping a beat. "Beauty is meant to be shared." "Are you an artist?" she inquired, her gaze drawn to the sketchbook clutched in his hand. He nodded, a shy smile gracing his lips. "Leo," he introduced himself, extending a hand towards her. "And you are the creator of this masterpiece?" Elara introduced herself, inviting Leo to sit with her on a moss-covered bench nestled beneath a willow tree. Its weeping branches cascaded around them, creating a secluded haven. As the moon began its ascent, casting a silvery glow upon the garden, Leo shared his passion for capturing the ephemeral beauty of the world on canvas. Elara, in turn, confided her dreams of finding someone who appreciated the simple wonders of nature, someone who saw the world through the same lens of wonder. Leo listened intently, his gaze never leaving her face. He saw the passion in her eyes, the way her hands moved in graceful arcs as she spoke of her beloved garden. Over cups of chamomile tea, brewed with herbs from Elara's garden, they talked for hours. Leo's laughter was like music to Elara's ears. He marveled at her stories of coaxing shy blooms from their buds and nurturing life into every corner of her garden. As the night deepened and the first stars began to twinkle in the velvet sky, Leo confessed, "I've never seen a garden so full of life, so brimming with magic." Elara blushed, her heart aflutter. In Leo's eyes, she saw a reflection of her own soul, a shared appreciation for the exquisite beauty that surrounded them. In the days that followed, Leo became a familiar face in Elara's garden. They would spend hours together, lost in conversation and laughter. He would sketch, attempting to capture the essence of her garden, the way the sunlight filtered through the leaves, the delicate dance of the butterflies. Elara would tell him stories of the flowers, their hidden meanings, and the legends associated with them. She showed him how to coax hummingbirds to her hand, their tiny hearts beating against her palm. Leo, in turn, shared his dreams of traveling the world, of painting the landscapes that captured his heart. They were two souls drawn together by a shared love for beauty, for nature, for the simple joys of life. Elara found herself opening up to Leo in ways she never thought possible. With him, she felt seen, understood, cherished. As the weeks melted away, a comfortable familiarity settled between them. They would work side by side in the garden, their hands brushing, their laughter echoing through the air. Elara had never felt so alive, so connected to another soul. However, their idyllic days together were numbered. Leo received word from his family urging him to return home. A bittersweet sadness settled over Elara as she helped Leo pack his belongings. She knew this day would come, yet a part of her hoped it wouldn't. On the eve of his departure, they stood amidst the moonflowers, their silvery petals unfurling in the moonlight, casting an ethereal glow upon their faces. "I don't want you to leave," Elara confessed, her voice barely a whisper. Leo cupped her face in his hands, his thumb gently tracing her cheekbone. "I don't want to leave either," he murmured, his voice thick with emotion. "But I made a promise to my family. I have responsibilities." Elara nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. She understood the weight of promises, the pull of family. "Then promise me you'll return," she whispered, her voice trembling with unshed tears. "Promise me you'll come back when the moonflowers bloom again." Leo looked deep into her eyes, his gaze filled with an emotion that mirrored her own. "I promise," he vowed, pressing a tender kiss to her forehead. "Wait for me, Elara. I will return when the moonflowers bloom again."